Hey, it's May here. I've been thinking about the difference between people who enjoy long-term and continued success and those who don't. And the biggest difference, in my experience, is the extent to which they're investing in their own personal development. And at its most fundamental, it's about investing in your personal development from an inner game perspective, and also whether you're investing in an outer game perspective. So your inner game, those are things like confidence, mindset, emotional intelligence. And outer game are things like your grooming, how you dress, how you wear your hair, how you walk into a room. And both of those things are really important. And thinking back in my own career, there were times when it was my inner game that was holding me back and needed the most focus. Like those times when I just lacked the confidence. I wasn't speaking up and I was pretty much invisible in my office. And I was easily passed over. And I was passed over. And there were times as well when it was my own negative self-talk that was the problem. At other times, it was my outer game. And I clearly remember the year that I was first up for promotion to managing director, and that's a big promotion. And it was the year I didn't make it. I remember that my boss's boss came to see me at my desk, and he said, May, you need X. And it was the name of a fashion designer who made women's power clothing. And I didn't even know who this designer was. I thought it was a personal shopper. So that's how bad it was. And I had been continuing to dress in the same way I had always dressed for the last 7 years when I had made quite a lot of progress in my career, but I was still dressing like somebody from way back in the day, and I really needed to get a wardrobe, and that was what was holding me back. So it could be either your inner game or your outer game. You just need to figure out which one it is. And by the way, both of them play on each other. Sometimes your inner game affects your outer game, or vice versa. And one of the great ways to think about which is going to show up the most and be the best way forward is to think about the following litmus test. So think about what people would see that's different about you, or sense that's different about you, if they only saw you every 6 months or once a year, whether that's at the family reunion or at a annual conference. And in my case, there is a group that I belong to, and we meet in person twice a year. So that's a natural place for this litmus test to occur. Can they notice what has changed? And what do I notice about others that has changed? So in the case of the outer game affecting the inner game, one of my friends, Ada Di Ferrari, her business is to help people dress in a more powerful and professional way, in particular women. And so Ada has an online program, and one of our other friends, Laura Brandenburg, who is an expert in helping people build careers as business analysts. So Laura took the course, and when she showed up at our semi-annual event this year, she looked fantastic. And not only did she have a completely new wardrobe that looked so powerful and professional, she also had the inner game then as a knock-on effect. She was so much more confident and outspoken. So that's a great example of the outer game helping the inner game. And then the other example is my friend Des, who on the second day of our meeting said to me, May, is everything okay? I said, yeah, well, what do you mean, Des? Everything's great. Things have never been better. What's causing you to ask that? And he said, well, usually you come bounding in and are almost kind of hyper, but this time you seem kind of subdued. So I wondered if everything was okay. And I said, yes, well, I've been working on becoming a better listener. I've been working on becoming more calm and steady. And in fact, this is through some training I'm doing in conversational intelligence, and I'm getting certified as a coach, and I'm embodying some of these other techniques that really help me to be much more grounded, and that's showing up as less frenetic than I used to be. And he said, that explains it all. So that's an example of my inner game changing and making me a better person, a better listener, and a better partner for others. And that's showing up externally on my outside game as well. So the question for you is, what do you need to work on next? Is it your inner game or is it your outer game? And keep in mind that they are mutually reinforcing. So leave me a comment and let me know. Is it your inner game? Is it your outer game? And what's the first step you can take to help make that change? If you're watching this from anywhere other than my blog, head on over to maybusch.com/blog, and I look forward to welcoming you there. And now I want you to go out there and be bold, play big, and spark joy for yourself and everyone around you.